Okay, it's almost time for us to set the calendar for Monday. Gosh, what day is that? What day is today? That'd be day 20, Monday. Goodness gracious. Okay. I'm telling you. Chairman Hawkins, will you push the button of your microphone, please? I'm going to ask Chairman Hawkins to open us with prayer. Thank you.
God, please bow your heads. God, please give us the wisdom and the guidance today to go over this legislation and to make good decisions for the people of Georgia. Guide us in our daily lives and help us protect all around us. Amen.
Thanks, sir. Right now. Okay, I'll call him Chairman Jaspers.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we recommit to Regulated Industries House Bill 34 and 395.
Do I hear a second? Okay, all in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Very good, thank you, sir. Okay, is Representative Clark out there? These people need to be here. He's not here. Oh, my goodness. All right. No, Clark. Heath Clark. Okay. Let's go. Is Representative Camp out there? I don't think she's supposed to be, but okay. LaHood, I think he's out there. Representative, you've got House Bill 245.
Yes,
Floor is
sir.
yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 245 is necessary because podiatrists in the state of Georgia last year were part of a bill that organized and jointly allowed podiatrists to organize and jointly own a professional corporation with MDs and DOs. And so there was an unintended consequence of that bill due to a Scrivener's error, and the word renewal was inadvertently last session used, and the word reinstatement should have been used. And basically, to boil it down, podiatrists renew their license every 2 years, like a lot of other medical professions do. And when they originally get their license, they do a background check. But a background check is it's not customary to do a background check every 2 years when they renew their license. Now, if they lose their license for some kind of violation, they would have to have their license reinstated. They would go through another background check.
So the only time they get a background check is when they get their new license, or if they've lost their license, they have to be reinstated.
Yes, which is
just a normal renewal every 2 years, no background check.
right, which is customary for other MDs and medical professions.
Any questions from anyone? Oh, seeing none. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Werkheiser. House Bill 268. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman and committee members. I've got House Bill 268, 3/4 of the way down. It's the Occupational Therapy Licensure Compact. This actually passed the House and the Senate, and the governor vetoed it because he wanted it to go through the GORC process. So we've got all that taken care of now, we hope.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? Seeing none. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's Representative Washburn outside. House Bill 342, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen of the committee, I'm here to present House Bill 342. As you often hear, it is a simple bill. It simply says that if you are not a licensed master or journeyman plumber, person or firm, that person or firm cannot advertise that you're a licensed master or journeyman plumber.
Okay. Undoubtedly, we've had an issue with that, with somebody saying there was something they're not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions for anyone? Seeing none, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Is Representative Rhodes out there? House Bill 343, and you also have 362.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Which
Chairman.
one of those you like the best?
Both of them.
We want, no, we got to prioritize these things. Which one you like? Go ahead.
I'll start with the department bill if you'd like me to. It's,
That's okay.
House Bill 362. Mr. Chairman, this bill does just a few things. It codifies the rules and regs set forth by the DNR board to make them legally enforceable. And we've had some hybrids that have been formed in our bass and our trout lines, and we are changing the definition so the hybrids will be included in our bag limits. This makes the .30 caliber muzzle loader a legal weapon to hunt with. This puts the bag limits on our DMAP program, and it also allows for and makes legal the use of minnow traps in our fresh waters just as we have in our salt waters. And that is House Bill 362.
Okay. Yeah. See no questions? How about 343?
343 is a bill that gives our game wardens, it just adds some words in the definition of our being able to monitor our poachers. It just gives them a little more teeth to be able to prosecute if they see fit.
Okay. See no questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Williams, House Bill 354. Yes, sir. The floor is yours, House Bill 354.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. This bill is a consumer protection bill. This gets the State Board of Cemeterians and State Board of Funeral Service to notify local law enforcement if laws are being broken that could be considered felonies in the cases of fraud and forgery, people breaking the law. And that's all this does, is give them the opportunity to notify local law enforcement to possibly stop people from damaging unsuspected people, even more.
Okay, we've got a question. Representative Williams. Okay. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. She actually is a signer on this bill. Thank you, sir. All the funeral director caucus did sign this bill, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Chairman Martin.
Yeah, gentlemen, we'll yield for a question. I still am concerned on line 18 that we're notifying the Attorney General and only giving them 7 days. I don't know that in statute we can tell a constitutional officer how to appoint a DA. It seems like we should be telling them to appoint the district attorney in their area rather than the Attorney General, but I'll leave that to the wisdom of the author and the chair.
Well, this is when it's notified the local sheriff would then have someone investigate, and if finds reason that something is amiss or forgery or fraud being done, then they would contact the district attorney of that vicinity over that jurisdiction of where the crime's being committed.
You got another question?
It still raises the question of you're putting the Attorney General on notice before the local jurisdiction has had time to do the investigation. and asking them to appoint somebody to do the investigation. I just think it's a bit confusing, but I'll belabor it if the rest of the committee doesn't have a problem.
The Attorney General's office has someone assigned to these boards, so the Attorney General's office is already aware that something could be happening. And so I know it says Attorney General, but it's talking about the local district attorney, that I think is where it's
That's my point.
the confusion.
You should say district.
I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, the gentleman, I think makes my point for me. It says Attorney General, but it should probably be the district attorney.
Okay. So we probably need to get a rule substitute with, make it correct. Chairman Powell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the gentleman presenting the bill, is it not true that the reason the AG's language is in there is because the AG's office represents the licensing boards at the Secretary of State's office? And that is the proper protocol to go through. But is it not also true that the rationale behind this bill was that this is a board that has knowingly allowed unlicensed cemeterians and some others to practice some questionable business practices for whatever reason they didn't want to get into, and that was the misuse of escrow funds that we've been seeing so much in the news media about people that are passing away or they're showing up and families are showing up, and hundreds of cases at certain ones where they have basically done away with the escrow funds for these pre-need type of arrangements, and that's the necessity of this. And if I understand the bill, which we heard it in the committee, was that they have a period of time of 31 days if a complaint's been made to the board, that they look at it, and then if there's any validity to it, that's when they forward it to the AG and to the district attorneys in those counties. Generally, you have to go through the AG you have to go to the DAs through the AG's office, since there's the connection there.
Okay. All right. I don't see any other questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Okay. For those of you who are on the committee now, is that everybody who, Mr. Clark never showed up, huh? Okay. Representative Williamson, House Bill 150.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, asked for House Bill 150, simply
Turn him, yeah.
This asking for House Bill 150. This bill simply precludes the local government from denying connection or reconnection to any fuel source based solely on the reason of the type of fuel being purchased or the source of that fuel.
Okay.
I can answer any questions.
See no question. Thank you, sir. Chairman Ballinger. Push your button. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, it's my pleasure to bring before you House Bill 273. What this bill simply does is replace, right now there is a 35% signature requirement in order to get a referendum on the ballot for package sales. This simply replaces the 35% signature to a simple board or commission vote. So your local city council or your county commission can vote to put the referendum on the ballot. It does not approve, they cannot approve the referendum, but it will allow them to put the referendum on the ballot and allow the citizens of the county or city to vote whether or not they want the package stores in their communities. Happy to answer any questions.
See no questions. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Chairman Hawkins. It's House Bill 305.
This bill addresses a revision in the massage therapy code. It does two things. One, it recognizes national board certification processes that the courses being taught in Georgia are recognized by a national organization. And number two, that the instructor is also recognized and approved by that organization and by their board.
Okay. I see no questions. Thank you, sir. Chairman Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have House Bill 307. It's a telehealth act. Since the pandemic and the governor's edict, Telemedicine has just been sort of wide open, and people, it's probably moved us forward 10 years in 1 year because people now realize the value of telehealth, and especially in reaching our rural areas, and especially in treating people with mental disorders. And we have a huge suicide rate increase, alcoholism, and those kinds of illnesses that are coming forth from the pandemic. And this just sets into record that what the parameters on telehealth, basically following what we've had, tightening it up a little bit and making sure that we can still use telehealth when we go off the emergency orders.
Okay. You know, I read this morning that life expectancy dropped 1 year the first 6 months of last year.
Yes, sir,
Life
and I think
expectancy.
a lot of that would probably be due to alcoholism and drugs and suicide and
Pandemic? No,
Pandemic.
there's a lot of issues going on. Okay. Well, I think we got a couple of issues now. We have a substitute for House Bill 98. The substitute, I think you have on your desk, the LC number is 470855S, substitute for House Bill 98. Chairman Lumsden, okay?
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, bring to you House Bill 98 by substitute. This is a bill that we presented yesterday that provides the ability for local and state governments to hold meetings and hearings by teleconference in declared emergency conditions. The changes made as a result of conversations yesterday, it deletes the phrase "but shall not be limited to" from the original bill, and makes it clear that we're talking about emergency conditions, and it also restores the language to Section 3 of the bill on page 2 to the original language, which is already in code.
Okay. I see no questions. Do I hear a move that we pass rule substitute LC 470855S? Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Very good. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now we have a rule substitute for House Bill 156, and that LC number is LC 364675S. Whip Kelley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I come before you with substitute to House Bill 156. Simply what we're doing with this substitute is removing some language that was already passed in House Bill 134 this year, just so there wouldn't be conflict or cause any problems should they both get across the finish line and the governor signs them. We didn't want to get into a situation where you can have two bills with pretty much similar language both sitting on the governor's desk at the same time. So we're simply removing the language that's already been passed in House Bill 134 and then moving forward with the language at the beginning of the bill, Mr. Chairman. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for the? Okay, see none. I hear a motion. Do I hear a motion on this to pass?
Move.
Okay, got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. Okay, all opposed? Okay, it's passed, and it's LC 364675S. Okay, I guess it's time to set the calendar now for Monday, day 20.
I need it.
Okay, House Bill 98, substitute LC 470855S. Do I hear a move? Okay, all in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. It's on. Okay, substitute for House Bill 156, LC 364675S. Do I hear a move? Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, getting down to the regulars now. House Bill 210. Okay, got a move. Do I hear a second? All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. You can tell it's getting the end of the week. House Bill 210 is on, 156 is on, 98 is on. House Bill 150.
Move.
Okay. Okay, got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Okay, all opposed, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's on. Okay. Did I do 210? Okay. House Bill 234. Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. It's on. House Bill 245. Did I hear a move? Okay, got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. It's on. House Bill 268. Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. It's on. House Bill 273. Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. House Bill 307. Did I hear a move? Oh, I didn't hear you. Okay, got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. House Bill 342. Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay, House Bill 354. Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. Okay. House Bill 362. Got a move and a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. It's on. So let's run through them one more time. And then I'm going to call on our illustrious chairman of our Majority Caucus. House Bill 98, House Bill 150, House Bill 156, House Bill 210, 234, 245, 268, 273, 307, 342, 354, 362, and remember, House Bill 98 and House Bill 156 are by rule substitute. I'm going to call on our caucus chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that pursuant to Rule 33.3 of the Rules of the House, that debate be limited on today's calendar and Monday's calendar to 1 hour, time to be distributed at the discretion of the Speaker.
Yeah, you got a move in a second. All in favor say aye. All opposed, like sign. All opposed, raise your hand. It passed. Thank you. Meeting adjourned. I'll see you on Monday morning.